I'm Jonica from Jonica Cooks, and I'm actually really excited to bring you this recipe today. I'm going to show you how to make parsnip and carrot fritters, and they are so beautiful. The flavor is sweet and savory, and it's topped with a bright and happy sauce. They freeze well and can be reheated in the oven or an air fryer, so you can make them ahead. You can make them smaller for appetizers or bigger as a side dish. It's your call. I developed this recipe in honor of my great grandparents, Phoebe and Royal Cutler. They were well known farmers out on Orchard Prairie outside of Spokane, Washington. Phoebe developed recipes to market and advertise the vegetables they grew, and carrots were their specialty. They also grew and sold parsnips, among other crops. I've been going through some of Phoebe's recipes. Some of them I've loved, and some have not quite been up to my taste, I must admit. But in the spirit of great Grandma Phoebe, I decided to try to come up with a recipe of my own featuring these wonderful root vegetables. I don't think you'll find carrots these days as delicious as the ones my great grandpa developed, but you'll still love these fritters. For the sauce, you're going to need 2/3 of a cup of sour cream of any kind, 2 teaspoons lemon juice, and 2 tablespoons of fresh herbs of your choice. My favorites are dill and parsley. If no fresh herbs, use 2 teaspoons of dried herbs. For the fritters themselves, you need 2 cups of shredded parsnips, lightly packed, 2 cups of shredded carrots, lightly packed, 3 green onions, 2 garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 large eggs, and some high smoke point cooking oil for pan frying, such as avocado oil. You're also going to need some sort of salt for sprinkling on top. I used sea salt. Before I get started, I wash my hands and take off my ring. I keep this lovely dish I inherited from my grandma on my counter just for holding my ring while I'm cooking. The first thing we're going to be making is the sauce that you dollop on top of the finished fritters. You want the flavors to really mix and soak in, so we make it first. You can use any fresh herbs you like, but I'm going to use my favorite combination for this recipe, dill and parsley. Start with about 2/3 of a cup of sour cream, then chop or cut up your herbs. I like to use these herb scissors, about 2 tablespoons total of fresh herbs. Next, add 2 teaspoons of lemon juice and mix it all together well. Cover and keep in the fridge until you're done cooking the fritters. Now wash your veggies. There's no need to peel the carrots or the parsnips. Just scrub them good with a stiff vegetable brush under running water. Cut off the ends of the parsnips. Use the large grating holes on the box grater and grate 2 lightly packed cups of parsnips. Parsnips are drier than carrots when you grate them, you'll notice, and they have a bitter smell but a sweet taste. If you see purple carrots when you're at the grocery store, grab them. They taste just like regular carrots, but they're so beautiful. Look what happens when we cut the end off. Not just purple. Also this vibrant yellow. Oh my gosh, so pretty. We also need 2 total cups of grated carrots. I'm going to use a combination of the purple carrots and orange carrots. Carrots have more moisture than parsnips do, and I just want to get a little bit of that out. So I'm going to take all the carrots, I'm going to lay them out onto a towel here, and then I'm going to roll up the towel to get some of that moisture out. Now go ahead and toss the carrots together with the parsnips with your clean hands. Cut the roots off the green onions and any of the unhappy wilted looking green parts. I'm going to use my herb scissors again to chop up these green onions. I'm going to chop them up right into the bowl with the parsnips and the carrots. Gently mix the green onions in. Next is the garlic. I'm going to slightly crush it with the flat part of my knife, then chop the hard base off, making it easy to peel. To get rid of garlic smell on your hands, rub your fingers and hands on your stainless steel sink with running water. The smell instantly goes away. Because my box grater is already going in the dishwasher, I'll use the smaller grating holes to grate the garlic. So much easier than mincing it. Go ahead and mix it in with your hands. You don't have to be afraid of your hands smelling. Next, add 1 teaspoon of salt into 2/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour and mix this in with the vegetables. Finally, add in 2 eggs, lightly beaten if you remember. Mix in well. I used 2 large eggs. Heat your pan to medium-high and add in your oil. Then you want to let your oil heat up. You don't want it to reach the smoke point, so if it starts smoking, turn the heat down. I'm going to drop in just a little bit to see if my oil's ready. Use an ice cream scoop or a measuring cup to put dollops of the fritter mix in the pan. Lightly flatten the top. Cooking time depends on how hot your pan gets and how thick your fritters are. Usually 2 to 3 minutes on the first side and minutes after you flip them. You want them golden and just turning brown. When golden brown on both sides, remove and place on a paper towel lined plate. Then flip over and sprinkle a little sea salt on top. That's it. Repeat until they're all done. Time to taste. They're not soggy and they're not totally quite crunchy, but when you bite into them, the vegetables are just slightly al dente. Perfect. Serve with the sauce. You can use the carrot greens and leftover herbs to decorate. Yum. If you want to save some or all for later, freeze these flat on parchment on a baking sheet. After they're frozen, you can store in the freezer in an airtight container. Reheat in an oven at 375 for about 15 minutes, flipping once, or try out an air fryer. I'll put the full recipe in the comments. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for visiting Jonica Cooks.